Hi all, welcome to another episode of All About. My name is Jojo, and today I would like to talk to you about how to fix a drywall. Now you might be thinking, what is a drywall? Um, in many countries like in America, the walls in the houses are not made out of concrete or iron, but they are made out of thin sheets of calcium mixture called drywall. Because of the difference in the characteristics of a drywall versus concrete or brick, the way things can be installed on the wall is slightly different, because you can't just make holes on drywall anywhere. You need to find the right spot. When I say right spot, I mean the wood behind the drywall, which is the real strong structure behind the drywall that holds the house. So when you make a hole on the drywall to install something using the drill, maybe you installing the screw, but it won't be the strongest unless you use a drywall anchor. So you need to find the stud, which is the wood behind the drywall, to install a screw to have the most strongest installation, like you can see here. There are many times in this process that you end up making a hole where there is no stud, and that becomes an eyesore and a thing that is hard to fix. So I will today explain how to fix that hole that you created by mistake. Before that, let's go into the drawing where I can show you where the studs are located. So here's an example of how far and how a studs installed behind a drywall. So let's say this is a wall. These are the studs. And this is the drywall. The studs are actually behind this wall. The space between each stud could be 16 inches to 24 inches. If you start from a corner to look for the stud, if you don't find the stud within 16 inches, you should definitely find something by 24 inches. And there are many tools available in the market, which is known as stud finder, to find it. Let me show you an example of where I made a mistake. According to my stud finder, there were studs here where you see this line, and I wanted to install something right here. But because of my design of how I wanted to install something here, I didn't want to utilize a stud. Rather, I wanted to use a drywall anchor where there was no stud. So there was a stud here and there was another stud here. So that should be 16 to 24 inches. And so I utilized this spot to make 4 holes, and I was unsuccessful, and those 4 holes that you see are very bad, and I don't want to use them, and so I want to hide them. I want to fix them, and that's what I'm going to explain you how. So to fix our drywall, we need 4 things at least. First one being the aluminum mesh, which has adhesive behind it and can be stuck onto holes that need fixing. So once that is stuck onto the hole, we need to use a spackling paste, which is a putty that is applied onto the aluminum mesh to smoothen it and finish it really well with the drywall fix. Then you need the joint knife, which is used to spread this putty onto the aluminum mesh. After the putty is dry, when it's white in color, you need to use the sander to smoothen the surface almost as equal as the drywall. First step is to remove this sheet, separate it from the plastic sheet, and stick the adhesive side, the sticky side, onto the hole that you want to cover. That's it. That's your first step. Our next step, it is to start spackling. So use your joint knife, take the material and apply onto the aluminum sheet that you just stuck. Take as much as you need to cover the aluminum sheet. At a later time, after this is dry, you will have to sand this area to be as close as the wall, the already existing drywall, to make it a smooth finish, and then you can paint over it the color of the wall. As you can see, it's pink in color right now, and when it's dry, it's going to be white. This is how it is going to look when it's dry. It's white in color and you don't see any more pink. You can start sanding this to make the edges smooth before you paint. Or if you want to cover more things here, you can add more spackle to it. Now this patch is completely dried up. It's time for me to sand it, smoothen it. So we'll go ahead and do that. If you look at the smoothness now, it's really smooth. It's flush with the side paint that I have on the drywall already. Now we are ready to paint the patch and match it with the drywall color. Hi guys, it's the next day. As you can see behind me, the patch is completely covered. It's dried and it's painted already. So that's it. It's an easy fix.